This is Mawipa Social Media, and I am here live tonight to talk about why do couples wait so long to commit? Of course, I did this live on Facebook with Live with Maria. And so I just wanted a different look. Okay, it doesn't really matter about the look, but why do couples wait to commit? We all know about, you know, the P Diddy and Cassie relationship that ended after 11 years. Colby Bentley, after Colby enough, waited for so long to commit. They never got married. No, she was living with him, and they just had a hard time committing to the relationship or to one another. A lot of people who follow P. Diddy and Cassie's relationship felt like she wasted 11 years of her life with a man that she knew may not have wanted to commit to her. So, so instead, they it becomes, you know, it becomes routine. And sometimes when things become routine, they fall back. Like relationships have that. Like if you wait a certain amount of time, and unfortunately, I think that's what happened to Cassie, is that she was not firm enough to say, look, I'm only going to be with you this certain amount of time. If you don't commit to me, then I want to move on. When when he met Cassie, she was in her 20s. She was very, very young. And a very young girl who, yeah, I could say she was in the modeling industry, but me personally, I didn't know about Cassie until I saw her on Instagram. Okay. Very beautiful girl, and trying to make it in the business. So I can see where her eyes were very starry-eyed, and and she wanted to make it in the business and wanted her name to be known, and she wanted to become, somebody well known because she was with someone who was well known. The problem with this is that, first of all, this is a man who his career and his business was already established. While people are saying that she did waste 11 years of her life, and can she possibly, hi Rodolph, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for saying happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday to me. Oh, wait a minute. Let me sing happy birthday to myself. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. So happy birthday to me. Yes. Thank you so very much, Rodolfo, for remembering my birthday. Well, my birthday is not today, but thank you so very much. It will officially be on the It will be on the 21st on Sunday. So that's when my official birthday will be. But getting back into the subject, this is a man who already has an established business. Very, very savvy in his business, and he built an empire for himself. This is also a man who was married to other women and had children from other women. Okay, so let's not forget that P. Diddy, when he was with Cassie and before he met Cassie, he took her in at a very young age. And so practically he put her into a lifestyle that she already was accustomed to. Okay. And probably he wore her as a trophy. Very beautiful, very, you know, she can make it in the business as a model and whatever she wanted to be. She had that opportunity to do so now that she was with a very high profile, a very well-known and rich man, and was very well and is very well known in the business and the music world. Okay, so here is a young lady who probably wanted that kind of fame. Okay, so I don't think that Cassie in her 11 years, I don't think that Cassie, yes, she lived a certain kind of lifestyle and he molded her actually into the woman that she is. Okay, and molding means that, she learned from a man who already was living that life. And we all know that P. Diddy came from, from down, and then eventually became a very famous and very, became practically, a millionaire out of his designer clothes. And, he invests his money, and he invests it very well. So when we talk about and when we know about P. Diddy, we also, think about the Carters, and we think about Beyonce, and we think about all those people who are in that business and who already know how to invest their money in a way so that they can regain and gain money and not lose money. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself that this young lady, in the sense of business, he probably taught her the ins and outs of the industry. And so I don't think that she's going away with not any knowledge of how to gain and how to sell herself and how to sell products and how to sell, her brand. She's trying bits in here, and she was trying bits in here on, how to invest her money and branding her name and branding herself, and, how to market herself in the industry. Though I do believe she was probably well known, I don't know. But like I said, when I followed P. Diddy, I then saw Cassie. And Cassie, everybody was saying, well, they have a big age difference. He looks like her father and things like that. I think that P. Diddy had problems committing to or has problem committing to women because of that, because he is a well-known, famous man, and P. Diddy is a man of business and is well known for business and for profiting businesses. Okay. And so I think that he was afraid that possibly this young lady, Cassie, would come into his life only because she wanted fame. Okay. And when he took her in, like I said, she was 20 years old, and she's no longer the same 20-year-old that he had. She's 32, and he possibly saw no longer the glow of youth in her. And this is the mistake that many men make when they are in the industry. They want to carry or have somebody in their hand who is younger, who will make them look good. Not that Cassie is not a beautiful woman, because they both complemented each other very well. But I think that he was afraid of losing his finance, investing in a relationship that he possibly knew could probably be either his downfall or his uprise, and so that's what happens when you get married in the industry. You don't know who's out to get you for your money, or if the love that they feel for you is authentic. And that's where it becomes a problem, because then we all have to they have to go through a process of, I can't even think of the word. It's not annulment. It's when they get together and they arrange, when they get married. I totally forgot the word. But the whole thing is that when you get married, you're getting married to the whole package. Okay? And fear of finances is a big thing, because we all know that celebrities go through marriages and divorces like nothing. Okay? But the problem is not that all the money that they have invested in the marriage or during marriage now becomes a headache, because then comes out that one wants, the other to support them for all of the heartaches, or because they don't want to work. And since they know that this person is very rich and very famous, they want to live off of that. Okay? So, she was making and setting goals for herself, and she was setting, record deals and clothing lines herself. And so by that, what I'm saying is that now she has like a fan base that's with her in her Instagram. And she does have followers that follow her, and that is really good. I feel for her, because I felt that she needed to affirm the love that he said or professed, and he didn't. And I think that she was afraid, or didn't want to destroy what they had. If she had been firm, he would have probably left her a long time ago. But either way, he left her. And like I said, when you wait so long to commit, it should ring a bell to you that this person does not want to get involved with you on a serious level. You understand? And so, for whatever reason he didn't give her the ring, I think that he felt unsure of the relationship, whether it be because of the age difference, or whether it be because of finance reasons or fame reasons or celebrity reasons, like status. You understand? And so, he didn't want her to live off of that. Even if he did present her with a lifestyle that she probably felt very comfortable with, being that she was, when she met him, 20 years old. So Do I feel that she wasted 11 years? But yeah, sure, absolutely. She did waste 11 years of her life waiting for someone that she thought may have possibly committed to her. Now, in one interview I remember, and I think it was the Shade Room or Baller Alert. I don't know what interview he was. They were interviewing him, and they were speaking on the relationship, and they were asking him when would he pop the question to Cassie. And I do remember him saying that he wanted a child from Cassie. He would have loved to have a child from Cassie. And I think that this is something that P. Diddy feels comfortable with because he is a man who has children, and he's showing his children the ropes of the industry. And so, I feel that maybe he felt comfortable with her having his child and vice versa, instead of just marrying. Also, a woman who wants a man to commit to her on a marriage and wants a commitment like a ring. I don't have this is not really a marriage ring, it's just a ring that they gave me. And I had this ring for a very long time, by the way, but this is not an engagement ring or a marriage ring or somebody that was or is engaged to me. But I'm just trying to say that well, no, because you have to understand that yeah, some people do go for that. I must say that, and I'm not going to lie to you. Some people will do that. They will live off of you because they find an opportunity to to grab onto that. Like, oh, okay, he has money, even if it is food stamps, or even if it is money that's from benefits. People always try to swarm their way into comfort. You understand? And if you have money and that person has no money and no income and nothing, and you involve yourself with that person, then you should not complain of how the outcome evolves. Because, here's like I said about P. Diddy and Cassie, is a very good example how one can get comfortable in a relationship and in a lifestyle, and then all of a sudden, in a snap, all of that is gone. But that I think that she can make it on her. Absolutely. He introduced her to, to his business. He also showed her how to brand herself, how to market herself, and how to, profit from an industry that seeks out a certain kind of look and certain kind of people. And she has those criterias. She has those elements, and she can succeed, and she can live on that lifestyle that he introduced her to. And so I guess that she knew in the deep in herself that in order to her to make it into that kind of world, she had to set goals for herself. P. Diddy was not going, yes, he did introduce her to it, and yes, but also she had to understand that she had to set certain kind of goals for herself for her to succeed, and that she had to think, well, at a point in her life that he wasn't always going to be there to make her succeed, that she had to do that on her own the same way he did it. And so he gave her an open door to do that. Okay. And so, yeah, but I do think, Rodolfo, what you are saying is true, that some people rely, and some people look for certain kind of people to live off of. Okay. And so that's where it comes in that you have to protect your finances and you have to protect your image, or you have to protect all of the things that you invested so hard for and you worked for so hard. That's why celebrities go through marriage like nothing and they go through divorces like nothing, because they have to a prenup. Thank that is the word. A prenup. They do a prenup because of that. And so that's how they protect their finances, is that okay, if in order for you to be with me, which I'm almost sure that it at one point was discussed in their relationship, that if it went that far that there would be a prenup. Okay, and that's why prenups exist in the celebrity world, because people like Britney Spears, who has to support what's his name, Federline. Okay, I don't remember his first name, but Federline, and we all know that that used to be her boyfriend and now ex-boyfriend, and he lives off her money. And so we don't, we don't want to. It's a shame because, thank you. I'm telling you, I'm losing my mind. Kevin, thank you so much, Rodolfo. It's Kevin Federline. And so I feel for the girl. He actually, and what's so sad is that they actually support that. Here's a woman supporting a man, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he will go to court and say, well, look, I'm not getting enough money. I'm not being supported in the way that it's because certain people look for that kind of lifestyle. And what has Kevin really done that has made him a celebrity, or somebody who really has done a lot to, to strive for a goal or a dream or whatever, I've only seen Kevin Federline in reality shows or stuff like that, I believe, or when he's doing something, But he's really famously known for being with Britney Spears, and for the fact that they had a court battle, and it had to do with her giving him money and supporting him because he felt like he invested time in their relationship and he got nothing out of it, which is actually a shame, that a woman has to support a man who is old, actually, and not a person who really has established a career in any form or shape. And so I thought, do I side with the fact that you have to be careful with who you involved yourself with when you are in a status where you are so popular and people know you all over the world, and all of a sudden you meet somebody that, very young, who we don't know why in the beginning they are with that person. So that's why, like I said before, prenups are done. But like I said before, he was in this interview and he said it very clearly that he wanted a child from Cassie. That he loves her, I have no doubt in my mind that he loved her. But I felt that there was a huge insecurity, and also I think that red flags were thrown at her face many times. I felt like Cassie was in a lot of pressure when P. Diddy, was with other women that were in his past, like his ex-wife, Naomi Campbell, and all of that can bring about conflicts in relationships, because what it is that Here is a man who is not really committed to any one relationship, but yet has a relationship with his wife, because ex-wife, because he has children with her, and which in reality is very uncomfortable, because Cassie, as we all know, doesn't have no children with P. Diddy. And so when you involve yourself also with a man who has a history of with other women and is known to date women and also get them pregnant, this is very, 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 very uncomfortable and very unsettling in a sense, because, I could imagine how she felt, that she had to put up a front because she felt like she was, left out in some way, and that the bonding and connection with his ex and his children must have been something for her, like, I wish I had that kind of connection. And so, for the many reasons, I don't know why she stayed so long with P. Diddy, and he never really gave her an affirmation of their love. You know, to put a finger on it doesn't necessarily mean that you will have that man set for you. So, yeah, I don't think that he loved her enough to put a ring on it. Okay? I don't think that he loved her enough to put a ring on it. I don't think that because of just beautiness that he was going to marry her just for her beauty. I think that he felt like maybe she was too dependent on him, and felt like maybe she can you know well, how can I say it, wrap his finger around her, like she's beautiful and he'll fall for me and he'll do anything for me. And that was not the case. And so I really feel for the lady, because it is like 11 years that went by. And 11 years, you can't recuperate anything. And your youth was spent on a person who never really wanted a commitment. You understand? But yet in the flip side and in another side of all this negativity, I think that there is a positive, that he set her for and prepared her to put her feet or take a step forward to opening doors for her, where I feel that, not that I feel that she couldn't have made it, but because he is so well known and he is a man of business and he has connections and he's very famous for his entrepreneurships, and because of, all those businesses that he invests himself with, I think that it was a step for her to get to know a life that she didn't know before. And so he put her under his wing, and to prepare her for that, to prepare her to be savvy, and to also think about how to invest in the right way. So in all, I don't think that the 11 years that she was together with a man that didn't commit to her, I don't think that Cassie cannot live without P. Diddy. But I think that she should take into account that whatever time she spent with P. Diddy, that I hope that she took knowledge of business, but also the knowledge of that next time she has a relationship, not to invest her time and not to invest so much her years into a relationship, and that if she sees that this man is not wanting to commit to you, well, maybe it's time to fly high and do something, and to look outside of that relationship and to look to do something else. Hopefully, in all this negativity that has happened to Cassie, that she takes that lesson, that not everything that was in that relationship was really love, really. It was just that I believe that he wanted a young girl, just like now he has a girlfriend. According to the tabloids, he has a new girl, and that almost resembles Cassie, but that she's younger. And that also has a lot to do with it. Like the older you get, men start realizing that they no longer want you because you no longer look the same as you did when he first met you, or you are no longer having the very same. He probably met her at a time where she was very, you know, in a different kind of way. And now that she has matured, well, he doesn't see that glow and that shine or whatever it is that he wasn't feeling it anymore. You understand? And so it's so sad because there comes another one, and we always think, well, we're irreplaceable, and we are. We are replaceable. But here's a man who is frightened of commitment. I see that this man is scared of commitment, but also is a man who is really just wanting probably to bring in young ladies to mold them, introduce them to that life, and then, to take them under his wing and to make them, you know, business women, like prepare them for the industry of Hollywood. Okay? That's what I think that he's doing. And I felt like maybe he let go of her because maybe it was time. It was time for her to shine, and she was shining. And that's why probably that happened. So I look at it in many different aspects, and it's just not a loss, like a total loss, and that she actually has gained a lot by her being with P. Diddy at the time, that she gained a lot from it. Instead of losses, she gained. Okay? Because in real, I don't think that P. Diddy lost anything to that relationship. Okay? I don't think he lost anything. If in fact, that love was true, I think that he let go of her because he knew that he was not going to commit 100% to that relationship. And that's what I'm thinking. So anyway, guys, I have a few things to say. I have the things that are coming up, and also I want to say hi to a couple of people. Like I want to make a shout out to Teresa Mays, and also to my new subscriber. I have a 17th subscriber, and I'm so very happy. And I want to say thank you for tuning into my channel, to each and every one of you who are supporting my channel. And remember to, if you want updates on, of when I am live, please, when you do subscribe, try to maybe put on the ding-a-ling-ling, the bell, and that's how you will know that I am live on my channel. But I would like to thank all of my subscribers, and I appreciate all of my subscribers from YouTube. I appreciate every one of you. Sexy Blue Shirt, thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. You're always giving me beautiful compliments. Thank you, Rodolfo. Nah, I'm a good girl. And yeah, and so what I would like to give a big shout out to all of my subscribers. Like I said before, I am so happy that finally I have made it the 17th subscriber. And so, like I was saying in Facebook, because I did this video on Facebook. Sometimes I see that my viewers are scared to approach me or engage with me, and they don't want to talk about certain subjects that probably, they may think that I'm not very knowledgeable in. But you know what? I could be if you give me a chance. And also, let me know what you want to talk about, because it's very important that, that we interact in that kind of way and communicate in that kind of way. I love doing my live here on YouTube. I feel that it's very hard to do a live on Facebook that people will not tune in. But for some people, I love the little playbacks that YouTube has, and that people actually, hide behind and don't want to talk and just look, and that's fine with me because I am that way. So I'm not going to feel bad because you don't come here on live with me. But if you want to stay behind the scenes, that even makes it more mysterious and more spontaneous and more exciting. So don't worry about it. Also, I love when my viewers come up to me and they ask me like, Rodolfo, you look so sexy. Stand up, stand up, stand up. I don't want to stand up. He wants to see me standing up, but I don't want to stand up. I want to sit down and I want to relax. So yeah, I want to give a big shout out to JoyLab Social Media, who, by the way, is hosting my birthday bash, and I want to thank them for that. And we will be having my birthday bash. I keep saying bash. It's birthday bash. Well, my birthday party. Okay, that's easier. My birthday party at the Cabo Lounge at the Fiesta Rancho, and it will be on November 3rd, and hopefully everybody will show up to that. I am promoting it. Yes, I am. I am promoting it, but I'm also promoting the night light walk, the nightlife walk, which is for the fight for a cure for cancer and people who are struggling right now at a very who are struggling right now with either chemotherapy or fighting for their lives, or who have cancer, or who are cancer survivors such as myself. And I want people to show up for that as well, because this is for a very good cause. It's for to fight for a cure, fight for products that are damaging to our health and that actually cause cancer. And so we want to get rid of some of the products or chemicals that 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 actually I lost my words, the train of thought. Yeah, I survived cancer. I did. I survived cancer. That cause cancer. Products that cause cancer. We want to stop those products because they are causing death and they are causing people to get cancer. And so we want to stop those products because they're very damaging to the people, and sometimes can produce even death. I have a friend that her husband died of lymphoma, and he only got cancer when he came here to Las Vegas, and unfortunately, his final moments were very painful. And so, yes, I am a cancer survivor, and yes, it was breast cancer, but it wasn't cancer because, in a way, it was contained. But if I had waited, it would have become like a stage 3 or 4 cancer if I had waited. But fortunately, they took it out in time, and you know, I'm I'm better, and I thank God that I'm alive and that I survived it. But most people are not that fortunate, like I am. So yeah, these are for the people who are struggling to, find a cure, and people who, who are losing their battle for cancer. Why do women get breast cancer? Sometimes women who get breast cancer is because it's hereditary. Okay, and so that's what I think. The majority of women also do not take care of themselves. They fear going to mammograms, or they wait too long to go check themselves. And so, like everything, when we wait and wait and wait and we don't catch things on time, that's when it worsens, and then it's too late. So breast cancer is still a very, very, very high percentage of women get breast cancer and die of breast cancer because they don't detect the breast cancer on time, and also because of fear of checking themselves or doing a mammogram every year. And because just because you don't are not hereditary to it does not indicate that you cannot get breast cancer. Cancer also comes from products that you use, and we are not aware of it, and then we say to ourselves, well, how did I get this? And sometimes it's the things that we use that are most damaging to our health, and so we don't catch it on time. Like I said, like if you have a lump on your right breast, and that lump has never been there before, and you see that it looks not normal to you, then you should really have a checkup, and real soon, because it could become worse if you delay it. And if you catch it on time, then your chances of getting cure are higher because you already catched it on time and you're able to do something about it. But if you fear having mammograms, we all know women that I'm speaking on women's terms, and I'm speaking to women at this time, that I urge you that if you have anything that is showing a sign of a lump, or your breasts look abnormal in size, then I urge women to please have their breasts checked, or have a self-examination on your own. And if you feel that anything is different, right away you should contact your doctor. That way you'll be able to catch it on time. Unfortunately, not all of us are fortunate to survive cancer. And so it's very painful for the person who's going through it, but it's also very painful for the family who have to see their loved one suffer in such extreme. I hope that one day cancer will be no more cancer, and that even children are rid of cancer. And like I said before, it's cancer really is hereditary. If your mother, especially your mother, had breast cancer, then most likely you will get cancer. And that's why you have to check yourself yearly. Like if your mother is hereditary from catching or having cancer in in her uterus, then you should have GYN checkups every year to check to see if you have cancer in your uterus. So these are the things like pancreatic cancer. Like in my family, we have a history of women who suffer from lupus. So I would want to get checked, and it just like diabetes. If your family suffers from diabetes, then you are highly the chances of you highly getting it is very, very high, and not, like you need to check your diabetes so that it doesn't become a stage 4 or even worse. So that's why a lot of women get cancer, is because mostly, Rodolfo, they are hereditary. So most women are very scared to go into a doctor's office and getting a mammogram. Mammograms could save your life. And even though it's sometimes very uncomfortable, it most definitely can save your life, okay, and prevent you from suffering or going through chemotherapy. So there's your answer. Just like women, men too need to have a daily checkup, because men especially can suffer from pancreatic cancer, like with Patrick Swayze suffered from pancreatic cancer and died of it. And like I said, most cancers are caused, like I said, from products that we use. Like if you are a heavy smoker, then your chances are greater of getting cancer, throat cancer. And so those are the things that we need to check ourselves daily. So yeah. So Rodolfo, yes, that answers your question, but you also asked me another thing, and I wanted to take a look on what yeah, okay. Oh, really? Really? Oh, wow. All his family's died of kidney failure. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm thinking that your family died of kidney, and I'm almost assuming that they had to go through dialysis. Okay, and so yeah, that's another thing too that people should be very aware of, is that if you're not peeing properly, or you're not intaking water a lot, because a lot of people like myself could get kidney failure. If you are also, like a drinker or something, you can also get liver problems, or, kidney basically is that the toxins in your body are not fully, you know, um, flushing out. And so, yeah, that's a problem when your family, when you have a history of families who die of kidney. And so you have to be extra careful that you don't get kidney problems, and that you drink a lot of water. And depending on how many times you go to the restroom, and your diet is very important. And you should also be very aware of what you eat, especially if you have kidney problems. And so I'm very sorry to hear that your family have died of kidney failure. It's very, very sad. Yeah, so each family suffers and has a history of something, but we can avoid all of that pain from taking care of ourselves, going every year to the doctor and checking ourselves, to be more aware of what our family history has, and actually taking care of it, and not just stalling just because you're scared. Because you're going to be even more scared when you find out that, that things have worsened or have become worse. So it's better to keep up with your health and to keep up with, the things that are most prevalent in your family. Like if it's hereditary, then you really need to take care of it because you don't want that to affect you in your older age or affect you now. So it's better to really be aware of your kidneys and your heart and and your blood sugar. Like blood pressure is also another thing that occurs in families, that you have high blood pressure and then it becomes like, then you don't take your medication, let's say for example, and you can get hypertension because you're not taking care of your blood pressure. So diet is very, very important. Keep in mind that diet is very, very important in your daily diet, but also in your daily lifestyle, and incorporate a healthy way of living and a healthy way of eating. And when you implement that in your life and you implement that in your routine, then you can feel a whole lot better. Sometimes we can also make ourselves be cured and make our health better. But by doing so, we have to monitor in what we do and what we eat. And also, sometimes what we think may be good for us may not be so good for us. Like drinking a lot can affect the liver. And so we don't want to, you know, affect the liver because it makes it almost impossible to find donors. And the older, I'm just sorry to say this, and it sounds really, really bad, but the older you get, the harder it is to find donors. Also, if you don't take care of your health and you're the kind of person that just loves to eat sweets and, salt and sugary stuff, and you really don't have a balanced diet where you can eat moderately, then you're going to find yourself in a whole lot of mess because you're not taking care of your health and you're just like it's like a sweep over your will to eat a healthier way. So that's what I'm trying to say. And we should really be aware of that because also the fact, people carry diseases also. Okay, like we all carry cancer, but some of us cancer just, like I said, if you are a person that has a family history of cancer, then it's going to show. But then, we carry diseases that sometimes are hidden, and some of them that actually just pops up, and those are the things that we have to be mindful of. But then again, like if you have a disease, like let's say hepatitis C or HIV or something that you got from another person, then you really need to also be aware that you don't spread that to other people. Just because you are dating someone, like this is the same subject that I'm actually talking about, is that I saw a girl in another country, her boyfriend had HIV, and she found out through a doctor's diagnosis that he had HIV and had the virus, and he passed it on to her. No, not HIV, sorry, AIDS. He had AIDS and he passed it on to her. But also, while he was passing it on to her, he also was cheating. He was cheating on her. And so, that becomes a problem because then what it is that you're sleeping with multiple partners and not wearing a condom and not being honest with that person that you have AIDS. Actually, you are sentencing a person for life and sometimes to their death. And so it's so unfair when you have a disease and you want others to catch it simply because you have it. And that's very unfair. Well, doctors don't say all the truth, but it's really, I do think that it's a policy, and by law they have to tell you. They have to tell you the truth about your condition. That I feel that doctors are not thorough enough when doing procedures and when doing checkups. I don't think that doctors, used to be what they used to be. Years back when I was younger, a doctor can do a house call, come to your house, check you out, see how you are. And I thought that policy was a very good policy. And, it was like on a very one-to-one back then. But now you have to go to certain clinics. And when you do, that doctor doesn't sit down and actually talk to you. He's just wanting to go in there and out. You understand? And so I think that they look at it as whether it's really a situation where it's more of an emergency than anything, and what case is more important to them. So yeah, when you see a doctor that is really not communicating with his patients, and then he or she is expecting that, you know, I'm falling asleep actually. Like they're wanting the doctor to tell them the truth, and so yeah, I think that that's a very big issue. And sometimes, yes, sometimes we need to be told the truth, and we should be told the truth because that's why we go there for. Yeah, of course they have to keep you sick. They have to. That's how they make their money. They have to keep you sick. They have to keep the insurance money going. You know what I mean? They have to keep that going, insurance, and they have to keep the pharmacy to having business, and they have to keep doctors busy and having, diseases. There are some unknown diseases that we don't know about, and, doctors need to profit from their patients. They also need to profit from health insurances. Otherwise, how do you think they make their money? Doctors make their money by the co-payments that we get, that they get, sorry, that they get, like if you need to make a co-payment, they need to pay their employees, and they need to get paid. And so by doing so, that's why the co-payments, we have to do them, and then there's Social Security, and then there's, all of that is really on the system. Okay. And so the system, that's what happens, that, they need money. They need to profit from that, because otherwise, if you don't, circulate that, and you don't circulate, medication, and you don't circulate drugs so that people can continue to buy drugs, use drugs, then you're not going to have money, and you won't be able to have that really high class, office, and you won't be able to pay your employees, and you won't be able to also support your family and yourself. So they need to circulate all of that. They need to circulate the system and the health system, and they need to circulate, and that's how they do it. They're not gonna want you to not come back to their office. They're not gonna want you not to take drugs or medication. They're not going to want you to do that, and even when we are in the hospital and we stay for a certain amount of time in the hospital, the doctors are looking for you to get out so that they can fill more beds and more people and more patients. That's how they circulate the medical system. Okay? So that's how it is. So anyway, yeah, like I was saying, I don't even know what I was saying, but the fact of the matter is that it's very important that we do checkups yearly. And as we get older, actually, those things stop happening. Like, I have to go check myself every 2 years. Okay. But as you get older, that stops because, when you are 80 years old, you are no longer having these issues of cancer or anything like that. The only issue is like if you get the flu, and people who have a very low immune system are more susceptible to getting a pneumonia or getting real sick, gravely sick. And so, yeah, that's why they also have, the flu shot. Now, am I all down for the flu shot? No, I am not, because I had a very bad reaction when I got the flu shot. So I try to steer away from flu shots. Not all flu shots are good for people, and some people actually have a very bad reaction to flu shots. I am one of those people, and so, I'm the kind of person, like right now I have dry eye. My dry eye has to do with allergies. No, you don't rather die. Don't say that. We're not here to talk about that you'd rather die. We're here for you to really think on a positive level, Rodolfo. And no, you don't want to die. You're just saying that you want to die, but you don't want to die. Life is too good for you to want death upon yourself, okay? You don't want to die. You want to live, and you are going to continue to live because you have a lot of things to offer life. And you're not the only one who is on medication. Little children, something, it's so selfish of us to only think of ourselves and only feel sorry for ourselves, or think that we are the only ones who have very big problems. But something, try to donate your time to visit hospitals where children have cancer. Try to donate, and listen to what I'm saying. Donate your time to going to hospitals and seeing sick children. Because you may come across a child who is dying today, a little baby or a little toddler who has only hours to live. And so here we are wanting our death, and here's this baby who is struggling to wanting to live because he's scared to die. Well, so what? They're taking their kids to Disneyland, but that's not going to give them back their life. And what are you trying to say with that? That the Disneyland is something that they want to give them because it's their last moments with their family members. And so we cannot be selfish and just thinking that we're the only ones that want to die, while another child is gravely in a bed and wanting so to survive for that one moment with their family. I saw a little girl who had cancer. I don't know if she's still alive, and she was on her little oxygen, and I think and I believe that little girl didn't want to go to sleep because she knew that she was going to pass on. So she kept holding on to life and kept telling her family, I'm still here, Mommy and Daddy, I'm still here. And they kept encouraging her to fall asleep. But she had such a big fear of falling asleep and fear that she would die, and also saddened by the fact that her family would be sad if she left, that she felt responsible to keep on living and to not not to have her family cry over her. Like she kept asking her father, don't cry, daddy. I'm here, I'm still alive. Don't be sad. And so, we look at things like that and we don't take into consideration how lucky we are. We take for granted the things that we have and the people around us. We don't we don't appreciate what we have. We don't appreciate enough. And then when it's too late and we die and we are on our deathbed, that's when we want to create a relationship. That's when we want to create communication. That's when we want to create, new beginnings when it's too late. So that's why when the next time you feel like you want to go and kill yourself, think about that little kid or that little girl or that little baby that's so struggling to keep alive and wants a miracle to happen to help them to stay for just one moment with their father or their mother. You could see this in St. Jude Hospital. That so many, I used to work at Flushing Hospital as a young girl, and I remember so many kids that had cancer or that, their mothers or fathers abandoned them in the hospital. I had this little one baby that they used to call him Tyson. Actually, Tyson, and he looked like Mike Tyson. And for some reason, the family abandoned that child. They abandoned him in that hospital because they didn't want him, because he had some kind of, I think, and I'm assuming, and I remember that he had some kind of deformity. And so it makes it very hard for the family to support special needs kids. But my whole point is that that child was abandoned. That child the family didn't want that child. And so here we are complaining that we don't want to live, but yet we have these little kids that do want to live, and they want to live at least one day to be with their mother and their father. But unfortunately, they have to pass on to the next life. And that's what makes it so heartbreaking. So, Rodolfo, you should really devote your time, if you want, try to go into volunteer into hospitals, and actually maybe all that depression may go away and you may see yourself doing something that is helping others and even helping yourself. Okay? No, I am not preaching and not trying to feel sorry, and I'm not trying to be combative, and I'm not trying to be a smart ass. But when we talk about death, remember that we don't really know how death is. And once we come to that to that reality, and then it becomes like we really want life again. And so, yeah, we could choose our words a little bit more wisely when wanting to say that we don't want to live, but we want to die. Because there's nothing good when you want to take your life away. Just let things process and let things be, and let things just process in a way that it needs to be processed, and not make it a drama for yourself, just for yourself, because we need to learn how to accept the things that are surrounding us, whether positive or negative. And so that's all I really, that's really how I believe things are. Like I'm here by myself. And what more would I want for people to support me, and the people that I support me, and the people that I love and care about, that they are with me. But not everyone is the same. Not everyone is for that. And we show a side of us that people just seem to say to themselves, she seems like she's okay, and they expect us to be really strong and expect us to be, like that all the time. And so those are one of the things that, like, if you don't have that backbone and you don't have enough people to, support you or to at least acknowledge that of your existence, then, it could become very hard. And that's when you want to take your life because you feel like nobody cares. Well, let me tell you, that's just the devil speaking. I do want support, but and I do want people to believe that there are times where I'm tired and there are times where, I want certain things, but I can't have them. And just because I want them doesn't necessarily mean that I will have it, you know? I just got to deal with it and just move on. And just like other people too, like, if you want yourself, you are too self absorbed to realize that the life that you have is not really all that bad. Sometimes we make and exaggerate things to the point where we distort things just a bit, but you actually, Rodolfo, are a very, very lucky man to still be alive, to still have your grandchildren. There are people who want children and people who want a family and people who want grandchildren, and yet they don't have it. And, here, I'm here at 11:11 p.m. Las Vegas time. I'm here alone in my apartment with my two dogs who have just fell asleep. I need, to do stuff here, but, I need to have a chin up. And sometimes I want people to pat me in the back and say, good job, good job. Or people to, say, I support you, I love you, and I'm going to take care of you. I stand by you 100%, and I'll do this and I'll do that. But unfortunately, I don't have it that way. I don't have people who are always going to encourage me, who are always going to stand by me 100%. But that doesn't matter because we have to continue to live and we have to, keep our experiences at bay. And at bay means like keep it, at a level where we can actually understand why things are happening to us and not make such drama out of it or, make it a problem where in actuality we can find positivity in it and we can look at positive in a positive way. You know, we, we want certain things and then we can't have them. But Rodolfo, stop saying that you want to die. That's not good. And then when the reality is that when it comes to you and, death actually knocks on your door and says it's time, that's when you really are going to wish that you had not said that and that you really, really want your life because life flashes right in front of you and you start to realize that, no matter how bad things are, life is always good than death. It really is. Even for people who are going through pain right now, would rather have just one moment with their families. And that's how I see it. Any other questions, Rodolfo? Like that. Like, yeah, that's what that's the way I feel. And so, I'm the queen of my castle. And only I can make my my story a good ending or a not so good ending. But I am the queen of my castle. I am the ruler of my castle, and I am the leader of my castle. And though I may not have a Prince Charming to to whisk me and save me, I do have myself. And so a queen must always have her crown positioned so that she can lead her leaders to be good warriors. Okay? Because there has to be a leader to lead you to be a good warrior. Okay? So not everything that you do is, in vain. Don't feel sad, Rodolfo. I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel happy. And yeah, like, could I say that I am a happy person? Like sometimes I'd be thinking to myself, would I be happy if I have a partner? The things that you have when you are with someone are, it, oh, excuse me. Things become very complicated, you know? Sometimes your Prince Charming is not really your Prince Charming. But we should always look at things in a very positive way. Like, if we don't have a Prince Charming, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. And it really isn't the end of the world. It's just that we see it that way because we don't have anyone. But I really don't think that a queen needs a king to make her complete. You just have to find the right king to one day make you complete. But as always, if you don't have your king, the queen can always live her life and live it to the best. But always a queen should always live her life, in a way that she can conquer her battles on her own and stand on her own 2 feet and not need anyone to rescue her. A queen is exactly what it is. She is a ruler. She is a person that is a warrior, and she leads her her soldiers, or her knights, or whatever you want to call it, her soldiers, to be great leaders as well, not followers, but actually great leaders. And so that they can fight for a purpose and for their queen. Sometimes the queen wants you to fight for a purpose and wants you to fight for a purpose that means something, not only to her, but her warriors as well, So there you go. Not all queens need a king. She just needs to find her king one day. But if not found, it doesn't mean that her crown should be taken away from her, or that she should take off her crown and give up. She should just live as a queen that she is. I feel like I'm a queen. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, oh, I'm so tired. I am so tired, people. I just want to fall asleep. And I want to sleep like Sleeping Beauty. I'm going to be sleeping with my crown on, believe it or not. I'm going to be sleeping with my crown up until my birthday. I really feel like a real queen. But anyway, yeah. So people, I don't know how long I've been here. Like always, I hope that everybody stays tuned to Mawipa social media and also Live with Maria. And that everything that I say on my live hopefully will encourage others to, follow their dreams and follow the path that they need to follow, and leave the negative feelings to the side, because we all have a purpose in life. We all have a purpose in life. Thank you so much. You are this is really nice what he said. Rodolfo, thank you. You are so special. Oh, he says it also in Spanish and in English. He says, you are so especial, friend, to the whole world. You are so special. You are so special. You are so special, friend, to the whole world. Well, you know what? I hope that I can be special to the world. I hope that I can make a difference to someone out there. I hope that a young girl, or even not even a young girl, but somebody who is going through a difficult time will actually buy a tiara and wear it, because it actually makes me feel like I'm actually a queen. You know, we have to find things that will uplift us and that will make us feel better. Negativity is exactly what it is. We all have negative feelings, and we all have feelings that, we want to die, or we are in depression or something like that. But we really have to fight that, because even I get like that, okay? So I just want people to know out there that you are not alone, that I stand by you. Everyone who is in depression right now, know that you're not standing alone, If you feel that somebody is talking negative about you, or that something is negative and not right in your life, then you need to take a step back and find yourself, and find out what really is causing you to feel like you want to die instead of live. Because life is beautiful. It really is. And all we have to do is just step outside and see that life has a lot of things to offer. And that if we enjoy the moment, and we enjoy the time that we are with yourself. Because in order for you to find love and, invest your time to that person, you actually have to invest your time in you, and to find you, and to love you, and to feel good about being by yourself, and to feel comfortable about it, and to know that you have so much to offer, and that there are beautiful things surrounding you. Not every time everything has to be physical. Even the air that you breathe is beautiful, because you're living. You're living and you're seeing things. But once you close your eyes and you die, there's nothing. You understand? And you can't come back to the beautiful things that life had to offer you. So like I said before, I hate it when I go, I really don't like that. But when when you live your life and you embrace your solitude, if you embrace it, you will have less trouble coping with loneliness. You really would. Put on some music, take up a craft, take up a class that you really like, dancing, art, instrumental, speak another language. There's so many things that you can incorporate in your life. And it's never too late to learn. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to grow. It's never too late for anything that you want to do in life. It's never too late. The only thing that is late is that you, your own self, limit yourself and delay your time. So try not to delay yourself, and get on moving, get on track. Okay? Because nobody's going to do that for you. I'm learning this the hard way. No one is going to do anything for you. Some people have it so good. Some people have it really good. And then, there are people that don't have it so good. But then, it makes you even strive harder. It makes you work even harder. It makes you, want to pursue even harder at what you're working for, So the next time you feel like you don't have anyone on your side and backing you up, just remember that what you're doing is just as important and just as valuable and just as good as the next person who does have all these supporters, or probably has friends backing them up, or they're living the good life. It's not about that. It's about you supporting and loving you first, before you go around thinking that others have it that good. also, because they may not have it good or they maybe do have it good, but each and every one of us, like I said, has a story. Each and every one of us has something that we have to offer. And it's not because you're less intelligent, it's not because you're less of a person. It's just each and every one of us is just different, okay? And some people will vibe and some people will not, and just some people will do and some people will not. And some people feel like, I think that she's strong enough to stand on her own 2 feet, you know? I've been like that almost practically all my life. But guess what? I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing just because I have no one by my side. I'm not going to stop living. I'm not going to stop enjoying my life. I'm not going to stop being happy. And I'm not going to stop doing the things that I love to do. It's just that simple, you know? And that's what I'm trying to say, you know? Don't um don't write yourself out too soon. Don't. Don't write yourself out too soon, you know? Because you have a lot to offer, and it doesn't matter what age you are. You can still aspire to be the great person that you are. All right, people. Those, you know, like, what do you people want to talk about before I leave? Anybody out there, like, wants to talk about anything that they want? But you know what? I'm just going to stand here and just wait, and then I'm just going to, you know, like, go to sleep because I'm really tired. Hold on. Hold on to what? What do you want me to hold on to? I don't know what you want me to hold on to. Sorry, people. I've been up so early. The queen needs to have a rest. I really need to have a rest. I need to do a lot of things, but the one thing I wish right now is to have a rest. You want to say something? What is it that you want to say? What is it that you want to say, Rodolfo? I'm waiting. You know, I have a friend who is, I think I mentioned her. I feel like she's my friend because I used to go to her gigs. Her gigs. I used to go to her performances, her events. And now she went to Florida. She had a video. I was so proud of her. She is going to the way. Oh, you write slow. Okay. She is doing a cruise ship, and she's a singer. She's a very good singer. And she was talking about how you know, life has changed for her, and how when you apply for the cruise ships, you know, you have to have certain things that they require. And so she says that if you don't meet some of the requirements, then it would be very difficult for you to get hired. But you know, they expect you to be in tip-top shape, because if you're going to be on a cruise ship for, you know, a certain amount of months, then you don't want to have any kind of issues health-wise. But I saw her, and she was talking about her apartment and how she's going to move to another place, and how you know, how things are going. She really likes where she's working or is going to be working. And I guess that she really is enjoying her time. And that's what I'm saying. Like, she took that really, you know, she attempted to take a different direction in her life. And I'm very proud of her. You know, like, I'm so proud of so many people. Like, I didn't say anything to this person, and this person actually, I saw a picture of this person, and this person was holding something, that really, you know, that person has gone up in their career, and I have seen that person flourish, and how they, little by little are actually are succeeding to being recognized, and I'm proud of that person, and I'm proud of how they have evolved in their career. And from the I've known this person for now for 3 years, actually four, and I have seen this person grow in their career, and how, you know how they have met different kinds of people, and how they have, you know have grown career wise, and I'm so happy and proud of them, and also people that I have met through them, and now they're doing things that I am now following, and I'm very, very happy that they are doing it, because, we are all here for a purpose, like I said, and we all change, and we should experiment on different things that we don't see ourselves doing, you know? And these people are really have done things that normally, probably back then, they wouldn't have considered, and now they are doing it. And so I am really happy for them. I've also seen a lot of companies where, should I ignore a woman if I know they won't pay attention to me because I'm disabled, because I live of Social Security and food stamp? Well, not all women. No, I don't think you should ignore a woman who, well, you don't know that. You don't know if a woman is actually not paying attention to you because you're disabled. You know how I see that, because you know how they say that, when you are with a person that you've been with them, when they have had issues, when you met them, like, let's say you meet someone, and that person has a disability, but yet you want to pursue a relationship with them. And so, in order to solve that, you would have to have a person that actually already is working, so that that person is not taking advantage of you because you are disabled. And you can see that and tell that. Like, you can tell when a person is using you simply because of your disability check, or because you have a disability, and so they figure that since you have a disability, you're not you're not intelligent enough to catch on to what they're doing. So yeah, you gotta, ignore them if they show signs that they are, like, being quite abusive, and also are using you for that. But you have to give, people or women a chance to get involved with you, and not always think that women are after you because you have food stamps and a social security. Like I said, women, a person who is working and already has her a career established, or she has a career and she already lives on her own, and she can support herself, or has supported herself way before she met you, then I hardly think that she's going to be using you. The only thing that she can be, using you for is, for you to support her emotionally. You know what I mean? So usually for in your case, you would want to steer away from a woman who is not working. You do want to steer away from a woman who does not have her own thing. You understand? Like if you meet a woman and she has her own thing already, she has a job, she can take care of herself, or just like she has a career, or she's just working, even if it is at McDonald's, but she's working. She has her own apartment, she has her own thing, and she's not really looking for Social Security. She may want help from you. Like I do believe that if you live with a person and that person wants you to pay half of the bill, like let's say if you intend to move in with each other and her and you have an agreement that you are going to split the rent or you are going to split the bill, then yes, I think that that's a good plan. I think that that's a good thing. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I don't think that that's something that you should steer yourself away from or shy away from. But if you see a woman that is just using you and just asking you for money and they are not wanting to help you out, I'm embarrassed to to rap to a woman because I'm afraid to tell her I'm on disability. Well, first of all, why would you even say that to a woman, Rodolfo? If you are not, if you are not committed to a woman, okay, if you're not committed to a woman and she doesn't want anything serious with you or even a commitment with you, sure, you should say everything, not everything. Let me rephrase that. Not everything, but you should tell her, look, you should tell her your situation, and it's really not a situation. You live on disability. You understand? You live on disability, nothing to be embarrassed about. It is nothing that you should feel ashamed of, and it is nothing that that person should really care about. Because remember, you before you met her, you already were living on disability. You understand? You already are living on disability. So for you to say, like you are embarrassed to tell her, why should you be embarrassed to tell her that you are on disability? But then again, why should you even tell her anything anyway until you have a relationship that that you can on a level, like if you are on a first date, you're not going to tell her that you are on disability because that's not none of her business. And of course, you shouldn't be giving that kind of information out. You understand? Like you shouldn't be giving that out. You should really be talking about something else other than that. But if she asks you, "Are you working?" I think that you owe it to her to be honest and say, "Well, no, I am not working. I do live on disability." And she would probably ask you, "Why are you living on disability?" Or most likely, she may not ask you anything. But just because a person is living on disability doesn't mean that they cannot work, doesn't mean that they don't aspire to have a goal in their life, and doesn't necessarily mean that not all people who are on disability actually want to live on disability, and who are actually people who are on disability actually do work regardless if they are on disability. So no, I don't think that you should be embarrassed to tell any woman that you are on disability. You know what I mean? But also, to answer your question, I feel that, like if you're going to date someone and, you see that person already has something and they're working or whatever it is, that, you don't need to worry about that she's going to be taking advantage of you because you have disability, because she's already working, of course. She already has a job. And I don't think she's needs your money for her to make it on her own. Okay? So that's the kind of person that you need. You need to find someone that is working, or you need possibly a person that is also like you, who is on disability. You understand? And so that's not a bad thing either. Like, I can't stand my eye because my eye is killing me. But that, that is a possibility that, you should also try, to go to places where, people like you and I hang out. But, I don't consider myself disabled, even though I am, but I wouldn't, like, I wouldn't, that wouldn't be the solely thing that I'd be looking in a person. You know what I mean? Because I already have my apartment. I I support myself. I support, like, if right now I'm not working because I have some issues health wise, but it doesn't indicate that I won't in the future. And I'm not afraid to say it. Like, if, like, disability is hearing me right now, I can care less, because if I wanted to work, I would work, and I would go report myself and say, look, I don't no longer want to receive disability because I am working. But right now, oy, right now I'm not working, so I'm not going to put myself in a position where, I want to lose my benefits, because it's not beneficial for me to lose my benefits at this time. But, like, if I was to date somebody, and I wouldn't be embarrassed to tell that person I have a disability. Okay, and you're dealing with somebody who has a disability, and you agree to date that person who has a disability, and then you come out with some shit saying that, look, you have a disability and I don't want to go out with you. Well, that's your choice, and that's okay. But to feel embarrassed because you are who you are and you have a disability and that's part of you, no. But nobody can come up to me and say to me, I'm supporting you. And so, well, you can't support yourself and you need another kind of, you need another person to support you. Well, how have I been supporting myself? Well, I've worked before, and I've worked 6 years of my time. And so, it's not like I can't work and I can't take care of myself. You understand? And so I really basically am not trying to look for anyone to support me, other than that if I ask for support in an emotional or spiritual, or on a level where, I want support in that kind of level, or, even in a physical level where, if I have a goal, if I have a dream, if I have, an aspiration, I would want that person to motivate me to become a better me. You understand? And to become the person that I need to become, and to, and if I really want it, I want that support. You understand? I would want that support from that person. I would want that person to stand by me 110%, not just a 90 or 75%. You understand that? And, I may not have that 110% from anyone, because I feel that I can deal with that, you know? But in your question, and what you're trying to find out, should you be embarrassed to tell anyone that you are in disability? No. But if you are beginning to dating a person, and then you see that that person is interested in you, and they like your personality, they like you, and they want a second date with you, and they want to get to know you, then yeah, why not? Why, you're going to deny that you are disabled? Why? A hot car and money. Well, you don't have that, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. And not every man has a car. And not any, yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Like, that's what women want. They want a man they want a man, first of all, who's good looking, who has the muscles, who has a career, who has money, who has a car. Yeah, whatever. You're welcome. Okay. So yeah. So, it's like, Darlene, you're welcome. I know, Darlene. And you're welcome, Darlene. Um, what I'm trying to say is that, um, like, all women, not all women, some women want that. They want the good looks, they want they want the car, they want the money. Then maybe they should concentrate themselves in getting that, you know? But if you're a woman, and that's what makes dating so complicated, is that if you don't have those things, then you're most likely not to get a date and not to, you know, have someone in your life because you are lacking those things. But the woman who actually cares about you and is not interested only is interested in you and the person that you are, and she is the kind of person who can overlook that and just see that you are a good-hearted, good person, then then she's a winner. But there are women out there, Rodolfo, that are like that, and I understand what you're trying to say, just like men. They are men who are like that too, who, if they don't see a pretty face, or they don't see a woman who is physically proportioned, or they don't see a woman who, is kept, or they don't see a woman who is feminine enough, or they don't see a woman who has a job, who can support herself. Ah, la, da, 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 and it goes on. And that's why we have job applications that are called dating applications, so that we as well can check the list, since this is a generation and the dating game is very hard to follow. So we need to have this little application where if we find someone that fills those little checklists, then they're all good. But you know what? I don't need to be like the next person, and you don't need to be like the next person. You don't need to, follow those checklists, because, you are who you are. You can't change who you are. You can only be who you are. You know, I find it very strange, Rodolfo, that you're saying this to me. Like, sometimes I'll be sitting here, and right now, since you are saying that to me, I'm wondering, did did you become depressed after your wife died? Did you become depressed after after your wife became deceased? Because it seems to me that the problems, how it's very difficult for me to really understand your problem, since I'm looking at it at an angle that, was he like this when his wife deceased? Did you have these issues? Were you on disability when you and your wife were together? It's very strange to me. Yes. Also, you did get depressed when your depression came when your wife became deceased. Okay. And probably you became disabled when your wife passed away. So this is something that is current, like it's new, or it's something that just happened. Yeah, it's something that just happened, and it didn't happen before. So you would want to explain that to that person, you know, get into the habit of explaining that to that person who one day may be involved with you, that you weren't always like that, and the passing, and they need to know that so that they can understand where you're coming from, because sometimes we leave gaps and we forget to talk about things, and you don't really have to go into detail of how your wife passed away, because those things may be too hard for you to talk about. But you would want to maybe when you are dating, you would want to make it aware that your depression and your disability came after your wife passed away, so that they can understand that you were somebody that was very happy in their marriage, and now is, you no longer have your soulmate, and you're trying to find your soulmate, and you're trying to find a woman that will make you happy, and that just because you have this disability now doesn't make you a person that is, some people, I've heard this a lot from people that who don't understand people with disabilities, is that a lot of people with disabilities are not lazy people, are not people that who want to be disabled. Is just that we are born, some of us are born, have been born like that, and unfortunately, we have lived through a disability that people will only see you with your disability. They're unable to see past that. And so unfortunately, that's where some roadblocks happen, because some people are not understanding of the disability that you have, or some people are not very adaptable to people who have disabilities. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't want her to think that I'm rude. So I'm going to really actually that you are tagged in. Okay. So anyway, wait a minute, people. Wait. So so yeah, Rodolfo, you have, and for the woman who really is, wanting you to impress her with a car because she wants to look like a Barbie doll inside the car, and she wants money because she wants to spend your money, not because really, she's not looking really at the person that's standing before her. And so there are a lot of ways to find out if a person is just using you for money, And if she doesn't have a car, well, tell her to get one, because you don't have one. And so that's those are things that just material shit, and shit that you can actually get. What you find is loyalty, honesty. You can't find pure love, and love that is real, or authentic people. And when you actually see a person for who they really are, believe them. Like some people will tell you, look, I'm this and this and this, and sometimes we don't believe that. Like we'll say, or we'll wait, for the person to be any other than what they really have already have told you who they are. Then it really becomes like, something that you didn't see coming. So when somebody tells you, look, I'm this way, I'm that way, and believe it, You know, believe that person when they tell you the first time who they are, because they're going to show you eventually who they are. You know, it's not going to take a long time for a person to show you their true selves. And yeah, we always want to make a good impression on our first dates, and we always want to be, with somebody who's a little bit more than we are, and so that's what I'm trying to say. Not because disabled people can't do for themselves, and not because a disabled person can't have a car, they can't have money, which is untrue. Okay? And we really need to stop stereotyping people. Just because they have a disability doesn't indicate that they don't have aspirations, they don't have goals, they don't work, and they're out just to have government money. A lot of people who have disabilities, and some of them are severe disabilities, don't live on government income. So not all people who are on disabilities live on government checks. Some of them, some of us, like me, for example, I'd rather be working. I'd rather be working than being inside the house and not doing anything. I thank God that I have this, that what I'm doing, and even if I was working, I would still be doing this, because I just found, something of a passion for doing this. And because, you meet great people when you do this, and you meet great people, and not only that you see the opinions of others and how people, relate to one another, how people communicate, and how, social media is a real good outlet for people who love to comment and bring out their opinions. And sometimes you can see that a lot of people have different opinions, and some of them have sucky opinions, and some of them have, opinions that they hold very strongly. And so, you get to meet a lot of people. Also, it's a good resource for networking. You meet people through networking, and it's the best thing that you can do is network through social media. And if you really have a niche for that, and you really have a good strategy to how to network and make it work for you through the internet, then you are set. A lot of people make their business through networking, and a lot of people make their business through internet and through social media. And so, but if you know how to do it, then you can have an income, and you can actually, make it work for you. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's very enjoyable. Like, it is very enjoyable, and I don't get any money from this. And I don't get any money from doing YouTube at all, as a matter of at all. But it's very enjoyable because you get to see and meet people, and you get to build relationships with people who are your subscribers, and people that you actually network with, whether it be business or whether it be personal. You get to network. And stop being so sad, Rodolfo. Stop crying. It's very bad to cry. Don't feel sad. You will one day find your mate. Stop looking for your mate. Stop looking for your other half. Stop looking, and I know that you're sad because of your wife, but you will have, Chloe, can you please stop? You will find one day your mate. You will find one day your soulmate, and you will one day be happy again. You just got to give it time. And you know what? You have to make yourself happy first, Rodolfo. You have to come out of, the dark place that you are right now, and embrace you and love you, hug you, love you, do things that you want to do. You have to go out more. You have to associate yourself with people that have the same things that you like, and not feel like the world is over because a chapter has closed in your life. It closed, and now it's time. And I'm sure that your wife would want you to move on and be happy and not sad. That makes her sad as well. If you're sad, then most likely where she's at, she is even more sadder. So you don't want to bring out the energy of that you're always sad, because things eventually will change. Things are not going to stay the same, Rodolfo. Eventually, you will find that person. You will find that once you stop looking and you start embracing you and start loving you and start loving you for who you are and accept who you are, accept the things that have happened to you in your life, and you just, have to deal with it in any kind of way that you can deal with them, whether it be painting, whether it be dancing, whether it be meditation, or whether it be, going to church, or whether it be talking to a group, in any kind of way. You need to think about you first before you want to date anyone. Because imagine you want to have a woman in your life, and then you become involved in a relationship where you're not happy. How can you possibly think that you're going to make that other person happy if they're going to see you on a daily basis unhappy? So that's just impossible to you even think in your mind that you can make other person happy. Don't think that because you are in a relationship, you're going to be happy. Most people that are in relationships are not happy because they are unable to give love to themselves. They are unable to give love to themselves first. And so they're wanting to give love to that other person, but yet they're not loving themselves. You need to have and dedicate time to you, to loving the things that you love, to loving yourself, to taking care of yourself, and to be you, and to actually, make an accommodation to yourself. Yeah, to accommodate yourself and to, take care of you. Because just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that that person is going to take care of you. You understand? You have to learn how to take care of yourself now, and later maybe think that later you can have a relationship. Relationships also, you need to flower your relationship. Water your relationship like a flower, and for it to grow and blossom into something beautiful, and strong. Because the more water you put into your flower, it will blossom. And if you start talking to yourself, Rodolfo, and saying to yourself, I'm a good man, and I look good, I am good, I feel good, and I am the man that a woman will love one day. But you have to give yourself pep talks. You have to uplift yourself. When you see yourself uplifting yourself, when you see yourself uplifting you, it's going to come natural to you to uplift others. And people will see that about you, and people will acknowledge that and see that about you. As long as you keep on being in a place where you are not happy with yourself, people will notice that, and they don't want to be with you, because no one wants to be with a person who feels sad about themselves and who feels sad, all the time. You have to come out of, not have to, but you should come out of that. You should want to come out of a place where you feel dark, or where you feel like you don't feel complete. But in order to feel complete, you have to, I keep saying have to, but you should look into that, complete you first, take care of you, love you, acknowledge that you are who you are, and be proud of who you are. Be happy for who you are, that you have lived through a rough moment in your life, that you lost the person that you loved, but now it's time to let that person go, and it's time for you to take care of you, and it's time to, for Rodolfo to find a place in his life where he's able to feel good about him, because you have to not deprive yourself of feeling better. You understand? It doesn't matter how you do it, but you should do it, because you don't always want to stay in that dark place. You understand? And if you want to, if you want to find true love, and you want to find love again, you have to give yourself permission, and you have to open up again, so that, you can find that love of your life. But if you close yourself and you close you as a person, and you don't open up to new ideas, or you don't open up to, someone coming into your life, then you will always be in that dark place. But you also have to be prepared, and you also have to wanting and willing to do it, and have to be ready. But when you feel ready to do it, not that I tell you to do it or ask you to do it, but you actually have to ask yourself, am I ready to move forward? Am I ready to move out of this dark place that I am in right now? Am I ready to let go of what used to make me sad, and now ready to move forward and a new beginning and a new chapter in my life? And there. I thought I wasn't be able to explain all of that, but I actually did. Good, Maria. Damn. I'm so proud of myself. Damn, Maria. Hey, yay. So yeah, Rodolfo. Yeah, even my dog, man, he's like saying, Mom, you did a good job, man. Oh no. My advice is not supposed to make you cry. It's really is supposed to make you reflect on your life. It's supposed to make you reflect on where you're going, where you want to go, and how you're going to do it. It's not supposed to make you sad. I don't want anyone none of my viewers to feel sad. I want them to rise above their sadness and really, sit down and reflect on what they can possibly do to get out of that mode that they're in. You understand? We don't always want to be in that mode. We don't always want to be in that place, simply because we don't. It's not healthy. It is not healthy to be like that. I know you can't hear me. It is not healthy to be like that. It's not healthy for you, but also it's not healthy for the other person that you want to create a life with, or a relationship with. It's not healthy, because those kinds of thoughts and those kinds of feelings will eventually make you feel sick, because you're not you're not letting go of things that are past. I don't know how long it's been since your wife has passed away, though. So you may be going through a rough moment right now, where this happened recently to you, and maybe you need reinforcement, or maybe you need, someone to really, stand beside you and, help you to deal with a problem that right now is that you lost a loved one who dearly meant something to you and was close to you and was with you for, I'm assuming many years. And you lost her because, of cancer. And so I hope that I said that right. But that you lost somebody recently, and so it's very hard for you to let go. 9 months, yeah, 9 months, honey. It's like it's still very fresh, and so you need to, if it's been 9 months, then I can understand where you're coming from, and I'm here for you. It's like it's 9 months is not really a long time for somebody to heal and somebody to really, wanting to go out and mingle and, and to forget. If it's been 9 months, then it's really hard for you to really, get out of it. But know, Rodolfo, that, life still continues, and she is no longer in pain. That's what you have to think about, and in a way, rejoice. Rejoice in the fact that she is no longer in pain. That even though things right now look very grim to you, in a way, it shouldn't be. It should be something that you should actually say to yourself, she's no longer in pain, and she is now in a much better place, and that that you yourself have to give yourself time to grieve, because it's only been 9 months and the grieving process has not really set in, or if it hasn't set in, you're not you're not ready to move on. And I can understand that. I can really truly understand that. And it's something that you don't really want to rush into just picking yourself back up again and having a relationship. Because what it really is that is just something that you just want to cover up the pain so that you no longer have pain. And so, yeah, it's really difficult at this time for you. It's really difficult. For me, is 9 hours that she left me. Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you, that it's really hard for you to let go of something that has just recently happened to you. And so you need to, that's why you are depressed the way that you are. That's why I asked you how many years has it been, or months that has been that that your wife passed away. And so I feel that it's very fresh, very fresh, that you need to really go through the processing of grieving. And once you do, you have to give yourself time, and you have to get used to the fact that she will no longer be with you, and have to, like, create a whole different new life for yourself, in which one that you're not going to adapt to very well, because you were with your wife for a certain amount of time. And so since that time was cut short or was stripped away from you because of a disease that actually took her life, I feel that you need to go through the processing of of grieving, and giving yourself time to grieve, and to and to just give yourself time. 9 months is not enough time for you to actually grieve. And everyone grieves in a different way, that. Everybody has a different way of grieving. So, I don't know how you've been grieving, but it seems to me that you've been crying a lot and have been depressed a lot. And so, you don't want to get yourself into a situation where you can't get out of, and you fall into a doom, one that you can't get out of. So, yeah, Rodolfo, give yourself time to grieve. Give yourself time to heal. Give yourself time to understand that her place right now is no longer your place, and that you need to let go of that, and and just give yourself time. Okay, I don't know why this eye is hurting me so much. Oh, but I'm so tired of just rubbing my eye. But anyway, yeah. So I hope that my advice has given you some kind of relief and some kind of, like a better understanding as to why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. That's all it is, I have to say. I'm not leaving anywhere, but I'm getting so much ding, 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 ding. Anyway, Rodolfo, I'm going to leave because my eye is killing me. And I have to put some drops on my eyes, and I'm actually very tired. So, Rodolfo, you take care of yourself, hon, and anytime you need to talk, Rodolfo, I'm here. I'm so happy that that you tuned into my channel today, and that you actually are speaking about this. And remember, Rodolfo, that you're actually helping a person. Everything that you say, you're actually helping a person. No, Rodolfo, actually, I have to leave because I'm very, very tired. But, you know, um, I'm going to try to get online as often as possible, because I feel that you feel better when I speak with you. And I just don't want to talk to you like, I don't want you to forget what you and I were talking about, because you're actually helping others to talk as well. And so by you talking about your your I don't want to say story, but your life, and you're talking about your grieving, and how to where it's taking you. And by you speaking about it, you can actually help others to open up about their current situation, and what really deep down is making them be in a spot, or in a spot where they are unable to move forward, because they have no one to talk to. They don't have any outlet, or they don't have any resources, or they just don't have anyone. And they feel lonely, and they feel like maybe they are not heard. But I just want you to know that you are being heard. You are being heard. And, I could be tired right now, but I just want you to remember that, your situation, you need to take time. You need to, stay calm, and that this will pass. This will pass. Only that in your current situation, and in your situation right now, and what you're going through, is going to take time. Everything is about time and about healing yourself. That's what I was about to say. You need to heal yourself, and you're not healing yourself. You just want to throw yourself into a relationship because you feel, lonely, and you feel depressed, and you feel like you can't anymore, and you feel like, you need someone, and you need someone to talk to. You need this, and in your most vulnerable state right now that you are in, and that is exactly what you are in, is in a very vulnerable state, and that's why you're saying what you're saying, is that's why I don't recommend that you go out on dates at this time, because you are in a very vulnerable state, and you are more likely to bring that kind of energy, and people of that kind of energy, where they are just using you for your money. They will see that. They see your weakness, or they see that you are not in a good place, and that's when they take the opportunity to take advantage of you. So work on you. Take your time. Take your time to heal. And it is, yes, a process, and everyone heals in a different way. Everybody deals with their situation, whether it be death, or whether it be a loss, a loss like a breakup. We all need time to heal. You need to give yourself enough time to heal so that you will not come into a situation where someone can take advantage of your, your grief, of your pain, because most people can see that. Most people are more expressive to people catching the energy of, like, I already know that she's in a bad place. I already know that she feels this. And so they'll use that against you, or they just will use you because of it. And so you don't want to do that. Well, I am listening to you, and you are very welcome, because I want to also give you the advice, but I also want to encourage you to, to be calm and, just listen. And if it feels right to you, then I believe that you can do it, and that you can, you know, um, heal yourself and heal your heart, and, make it a process where you are going to be able to accept the loss was that happened to you, that you will be able to accept it and then move on from it. But right now you can't move on to something that is so fresh and then expect to have a date or go out on a date, or who gives a shit if that woman who you probably are thinking about, who gives a shit what she thinks? Who gives a shit what other people think? Whether they are embarrassed of you of having a disability, your disability didn't happen by no means caused to you, and by no means it was caused by your wife either. It's just circumstances of life that happened, and it needed to happen. Okay, and so that's not your fault. That's not your wife's fault. It's just the circumstance of life and what it has given you at this moment. And so when life gives you lemons, we'll make lemonade of it. Well, and really and literally, you can actually make lemonade. So make a lemonade tonight and drink up. But what I'm trying to say is that there's always a silver lining to everything, okay, Rodolfo? And that you don't need to be in a relationship now. Don't even think about relationships. Don't think about what other people are thinking about you, because only you know your pain. Only you know the gravity of your pain. Only you know who you lost, and only you know how long it's going to take you to heal. You need to give yourself as much time as possible, and give yourself, that permission to grieve as much as you want. Don't limit yourself to, not grieving. Don't deprive yourself of grieving. It's part of the process of death, and it's process of accepting that that person is no longer with us, and that sometimes we need to let them go, and they need to fly, and they need to move on to the next level in life. And then afterlife also, we also have a level of afterlife, and that we hold back the ones that we love. They're not able to spiritually move to a higher being. And so we don't want that. We don't want to like hold back their spiritual growth, and so yes, we do have a spiritual growth when we die. But we need to reach that level so that we can, as spiritual people, and as people that have passed on, we need to realize that they also have steps to go to make themselves, and make themselves spiritually, aligned with the universe, is what I'm trying to say. So when we cry and we grieve, we actually are keeping them from moving forward. So, at one point, and I'm not saying now, because you are in the grieving process, but at one time, you will need to realize that you need to let go of all of that and make yourself better. Make yourself better inside, because in order for you to release all of that, you have to be in a place where you feel healthy enough to let go, or also realize that it's going to be a process, and it's going to be a long process, and that it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel angry, it's okay to talk about it, but it's okay also to embrace yourself, embrace your life, but also make sure that while you're doing all this embracing, that you let go of the one that has died, and they want to move to an upper level spiritually, okay? Because now they are no longer in pain, but then again, if they see you in pain, then in reality they are suffering, because they're seeing that you are sad, and all they want is for you to be happy, and they want you to live the best life that you can possibly live, and you can live your happiness through them. So don't think that, like I said, that you are not special, and don't think that you are forgotten, because you're not. Okay, but we can actually make things better for ourselves. Okay, so everyone, I hope that everybody has a great weekend. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. I hope that everybody has a great weekend. Love everybody. I love everybody. And we shall continue this tomorrow, okay? And we will continue it. And I will read your comment. And you can leave your comment in the comment section. Oh, look at my eye. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. My eye is all messed up, Rodolfo. But you can leave it in the comment section. And, I'll get back to it tomorrow. And we could still talk about your sisters, and, and how they are part of your grieving, Don't pay attention too much what people tell you, Rodolfo. Live you. Your sisters are living their life. Well, then you need to live yours. Okay? So I'll see you, and I'll leave you with that, okay? Try to pray, try to keep yourself at peace, okay? There's no better thing than keeping yourself at peace. Take care, everybody. Good night. Happy Saturday, and I hope to see everybody tomorrow. Hopefully I can make my vlog and you people can see me live, and we will be joined by Joy Live social media, and also on Sunday, which will be my official birthday, okay? So take care. All right, I miss you too. You take care of yourself, okay, Rodolfo? And peace out, honey. You too, all right? You take care of yourself, okay? And try to think positive. Pray to God, or pray to something that you spiritually, whatever it is, okay? Oh, I gotta do my little song that I do. Da 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 and everyone stay tuned tomorrow too. Mawipa social media with Joy Lab social media. Everybody have a great evening, and stay tuned for tomorrow. Everybody, I love you. Take care, and God bless, and peace out, everyone. Okay, don't forget to look at Live with Maria, and also Mawipa social media. Please follow me if you want to. You can also follow me on Facebook, but mostly I'll be here. Remember, if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. But remember, if you want updates and you want to keep up with my lives, remember to do the ding and turn on the ding. The ding means the bell. If you don't turn on the bells, my people, you will not know that I am on YouTube. Okay, so take care, be safe, and bye, everybody. Bye, Rodolfo. Thank you for tuning in. You have a great evening, everybody. Goodbye.